the Marines in here are going to be able to kill a good amount of these Mutalisks. Maybe even all of them. Wow, look at that.
Oh, yeah, Marines overpowered. No, they're probably...
Well, not cool. Oh, wow, the missile turret! That made all the difference. Look at that.
Yeah, man. And that Mutalisk, I think, is just ever getting away with his poor little life.
Oh, man.
Oh,
all of his family's gone. What's he going to do?
I'd play a sad song and go to smallest violin. Anyways, we have a third coming up for Jinchot, who's flying it over into his third position. And, well, let's see, how is he doing for economy, actually? Let's have a look at the income. Well, Jinchot's actually doing slightly better on the mineral income by, well, he was just a second ago. Now it's sort of being, no, it's gone back up again. Oh my goodness, it fluctuates so much.
I think forcing the cancel on the third was absolutely important, and because Clipse is stuck on 2 base, and now going to be on to a 3 base Terran versus 2 base Zerg, I think Jinchot's ultimately in the better position right now. If he can keep this Thor in the front of the army in this push, and get his siege tanks up really well, he will have what's I'm saying? He's going to have no problem enforcing this push, but it's all going to come down to having them sieged up before the banelings and lings move out.
Interesting. He chooses to morph his third into a planetary fortress rather than an orbital command. Necessary or not required, do you think?
I think it's necessary, because the way he's spacing out his troops, it looks as though it's going to be necessary. Because a Ling run by right now could ravage the third if it wasn't for the planetary. But, you know, whatever. It doesn't really seem to be too big a deal. These roaches that were created are actually going to be able to clean up this push really well. You know, this is the reason that I don't exactly agree with the Thor play. Because not only has he ultimately stopped production of Mutalisks, he needs extra Marines. These Marines that are getting blasted by these Lings, not Lings, these Banelings are what's preventing these pushes from ultimately putting away the game for himself. The Thor wasn't able to tank enough Baneling shots, and if he just had more Marines left over after all those Banelings went off, he probably would have been able to clean up the roaches and clean up the game. But I don't know, this is why I like to stick solely with Marine siege tank unless my opponent's really going heavy on the Mutalisk.
Well, it was also I must note, he had no SCVs with his units there in that push, so he had no way of repairing that Thor, which probably would have been something, if he did, would have probably helped him a great deal, those siege tanks too. So,
I don't know, I just don't agree with the double factory. Honestly, I think the factory units, although they're obviously vital to the play, are less important than having the extra Marine production. Like, instead of a second factory right now, I would have another 2 or 3 barracks, or even with this, get another 2 or 3 barracks. Look how many minerals he has now that his third's up.
Indeed, he's going crazy. We have a Hydra Den on the way for Clipse, but the upgrades for Jinchot are just going to the roof, man. He's good at these upgrades. He is. He's got 2 Marines with +3 attack on the way.
So he's going to be pushing up and taking the Naga Tower. The only real defense he has against these roaches are going to be these siege tanks, and it's really going to come down to placement again. I'd like to see him start teching into getting more Marauders out on the field, like at least from that one barrack, start getting some form of Marauders. But I don't know. I guess we'll see what it comes down to.
I'm just looking over the hotkeys for these players, and I'd like to give a small tip to those of you that are watching that are lower league. Clipse does have his roaches set to his #1 hotkey, whereas Jinchot, every single time he wants to select his units, has to scroll over them because he hasn't set them. Set your units to hotkeys, just one hotkey for lower league, so you can just at least select them quickly. Anyways, we got a big, massive engagement about to happen here with a bunch of roaches.
These roaches are going to be forced to engage the siege tanks head on. Going to be losing a lot of them just trying to get up in the siege tank's face, and this is going to be fatal for Clipse.
It could very well be, as these siege tanks are just... Oh, he's
going to let the last siege tank die.
Why is it not attacking?
Oh, he pulled the roach. Ah, jeez.
Yeah, and this natural is now going down. That was a bit of a pointless stim, I think.
You
don't need to stim to kill a hatchery, really.
He needs to morph Banelings ASAP if he wants any chance of killing this army, and he misrallied those Lings, and they just got eaten up by the Marines, and there's the GG from Clipse.